welcome back to JP's Budget Collecting and the whatever report where I rate a bowl for 45 minutes to an hour. So I appreciate anybody that shows up tonight spending a portion of their holiday with me. I know a lot of people have family gatherings and that kind of stuff going on. I do not work because we're getting together next weekend as a family. So so I thought, we'll just do our regular thing. If people want to hang out, they will. Originally, I thought about bumping this back because we weren't doing D&D tonight, but then I thought, well, that just conflicts with if people are going to go watch fireworks or whatever, then they can't. Then I'm just even fewer people available to watch. So left it at the regular time, and we'll just go as long as we feel like going. If somebody wants to hop in, we're just sitting there. So we had Sharon hanging out early, tailgating. Appreciate that, Sharon. Hopefully she comes. Oh, she's back. But Sharon's struggling on her own. Are you surviving? How much longer do you got before the youngins return? Hopefully not too long. You'll make it, I bet. Strange. They're probably not, having any trouble surviving without mom. But mom's like, where are my children? So fireworks were last night where you were at. Oh, nice. Deep House, I'm not planning on it anytime soon. I may mix up the graphics again. I don't know. We'll see. I need to get somebody. I need to have like an actual professional work on an opening or get some help. But yeah, because that's just like me playing around in iMovie. It's not exactly like professionally made opening, but the music probably will not get mixed up anytime soon. So that looks like everybody that's at least in the chat so far. So they're supposed to be back Tuesday, but a hurricane is sitting off the coast, and so maybe, yeah. So hopefully they can make it home safe and sound without any issues from the hurricane on time, but we will see. Planet Arizona, what is going on? Did I leave out fucking cookies for Captain America last night? I did not. He passed my house over. Darn the luck. I didn't get any fireworks. That's just too bad. Hey, Dennis, what's going on? Chips, dip, cheeseburger, and whiskey. There you go. Actually had a couple beers earlier, but now I just get Kool-Aid. Let's see. Yeah. All right. So not a whole lot going on this week. So yeah, I didn't go to my comic shop this week. I still haven't read all the books from last week. I'm so far behind on my reading. It's ridiculous. Hey Mojo, what is happening? Welcome. So yeah, I continue to just get further and further behind on my reading. So only pickups were the video I did the other night, which was this, and then that Thor book that I got. So we may go through some other things that I've picked up, that not all of which I think you guys have seen. As I start thinking about what I'm going to do for a submission potentially. So I may talk about that a little bit tonight. Want to talk about CGC needs? We can talk about that. Comic Book Human, what's going on? I think we will. We'll do that after I give my little bit more background on what's coming up. But yeah, we'll talk about that unruly. Dennis, welcome. Actually, I already said hello to Dennis. Dennis was back up there. I sometimes lose track of who I said hello to in the chat. So things coming up though. Tomorrow night, we are kicking off the Kamigori Summer Olympics on John's channel. We are doing the indie medley. So we're going to be doing, we got Unruly, we got White Whale Comics, we got I'm Going to Forget, Daymares, and I forget. I'm so bad. I should completely remember Nick's channel's name, and I always get it confused. Nick Comic Culture. It is Comic Culture. I always get I keep wanting to not say Comic Culture, but Comic Culture. Nick Comic Culture is going to be the 4 people competing. Only indie books are allowed. No DC, no Marvel. So we should get to see some cool stuff that we don't normally get to see. So that should be a lot of fun. We have later events coming up where you have to stick to a single run. Another one where you can only have a single short box. So yeah, should be a lot of fun tomorrow night. So the first of our indie or Kamigori Summer Olympics is tomorrow night on John's channel. So looking forward to that. Unruly. Unruly's already been talking smack. So no even wants. Well, I don't know, Sharon. Well, yeah, no Wonder Woman either, Sharon. So I know you're just devastated by those turf events. So let's and then Tuesday night, before we get too much further, we're gonna be talking first 2 volumes of Southern Bastards with Bearded Comic Bro, No Good Comics, Justin, and Lady Fantastic. I just finished these Friday night. I think I finished these up. So we will be talking about both of these volumes on Tuesday. Looking forward to that. That should be a good discussion, good group. So that's coming up on Tuesday. What's John's channel? So, there you go. And these are in the 40s, 50s, 60s. And funny. Well, so you're saying you got a few indies. I love how teens is not the only one that's not a number. There is, you could have just said 1 zeros. So, but that is definitely potential. We'll see. We might just have to cover it up. You could play with them, but you have to cover up the good parts or whatever. So I don't know. That's John's channel again. So and then not this week, but next week, the next indie show after that, we'll be swinging back around to Invincible, Volume 3 of the hardcovers. Which is issues 25 to 35. So looking forward to that. Then I have some schedule, but I think I currently got an open week for the indie show there, the week of the 19th. So we'll see if I can get anything scheduled in there. Next weekend, going to be doing family stuff. I'm going to try to get the look back done before I go. We'll see. No promises on the look back next week. I'm going to try to get it done, but we'll see. And then, yeah, I don't know. It depends on when I get back, whether or not I'll do Catch or Trash. So we'll just see what happens next week. It may be pretty boring. Yeah, not on John's channel, though. That was on somebody else's channel. So, all right. So I really brought up the big news kind of the week, at least from a collector's standpoint, the CGC news. So my thoughts. First of all, I don't know. I'm not optimistic. I think, I know there's some people that think, oh, this will be great. There's some people that think it'll be a disaster. I feel like my video I'm very bright at the moment. That didn't do anything. So, my thoughts on this. Blackstone is basically a hedge fund. They buy shit to make money. That usually doesn't mean good things for customers. That's my thoughts. Now, does that necessarily mean bad things for customers? Not necessarily always. But I doubt that it's going to be... so basically, Sharon, CGC was bought out by a giant investment firm. So they sold the big business, and that's all about making money. Hey, Craig. I mean, darn it, I wish Craig was here. So they sold, what is it, Blackstone? Is it Blackstone? I don't even remember the name of the dumb company now, but it's an investment thing that Jay-Z is a part of and everything else. And it's basically a giant hedge fund. And yeah. And everyone is either oh, this means they'll have more money and they'll throw more people at it, they'll get crap worked out. I think really what we should be hoping for is they just don't mess with it. They let the CGC people that are running it, because they're supposedly leaving them in place, just keep running it, which may not be good. It is not. It is not a rip apart the value of its bum the rest kind of group. Yes. And they already increased fees. So it'll be interesting to see if they immediately try to increase fees again. So, yes, they don't necessarily have the worst reputation of those kind of investment things, but they don't necessarily have, but they're still one of those. They're still in it to make money as much as they can. That is the hedge funds MO. Definitely, as they try to make as much money off of it as they can, and then they dump it. I mean, that's really, you want to think about what happened to Toys R Us, is they leveraged them to the point they got bought by a giant hedge fund. They got leveraged to the point that they couldn't make all their loan payments, and yeah, they sucked all the money out of them, and they went out of business, and they no longer exist. So now that was not this company, so let's not, but I'm not optimistic. I hope for the most part they just like leave them, let them just run their business. I can't imagine that their business model is doing that bad. Well, now they're probably even more of a beast. Yeah, so no, they're not great companies in general. They do not usually mean good things for customers or employees. So we'll see. I don't know. I'm not optimistic that it's a good thing for CGC long term. At this point, long term, for a collector standpoint, I think CBCS is maybe your long term potentially a better option. We'll see. And nothing bad has happened yet. We'll see what happens. I'm not optimistic. Well, that's just it. They literally just increased prices 2 months ago. Now, how long has this deal been in the works? Were they actually a part of the price increase that already happened? Is an interesting thought. Because I can't see, because if they just increase prices in May and this company comes in and they want to increase prices in September, that will not go over well with the comic. They're probably going to have to, I would assume they're going to have to hold at least for a year or so, but we'll see. Hey, Empire, what's happening? No. Potentially. We'll see. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what happens going forward, but I am not optimistic that it means good things. So yeah, they're about maximizing profit. Like I said, it rarely means good things for customers. Enough of that, because to me, I think that was I didn't see that as good news, despite the fact that CGC right now is so far behind and in over their head, and they can use it in flexing cash. I don't think this is going to be the people that are excited. I don't think this is going to accomplish what they think it's going to accomplish. That's just me. Hey, Melissa, what's going on? All right, what else are we going to talk about? I'm way behind on talking about Loki, but I'll save that to the end so people can bail for spoilers. Because I've only talked about episode 1, I think, because I didn't talk about it last week and I missed the week before. So, hey, Louie, welcome. No. 90s newsstand versus 90s direct. Well, by the 90s, the newsstand were a lot fewer. So I get why there's a market for them, because they are harder to find, and newsstands tended to not be in as good a condition, tend to be more abused than direct. But I'm not a newsstand guy. It doesn't matter to me. I just want the book. It's kind of like I'm not a 9.8 guy. I mean, I get why there's a market and an adjustment, particularly for the 90s through more recent newsstand stuff. Now I don't understand the people that early 80s stuff that are oh, I want newsstand. There's more of those than there are direct at that point. So I've always found that weird. Well, I guess it depends on what you're talking about. Newsstand has probably the higher upside, yes. But if you're looking to make a profit now, then move the newsstand and keep the direct if you just want the book. So that's just depends on what you're doing. Spoiler. Mephisto is behind everything. These are from their tombs and enjoy them. There you go. Well, then, hold on to them for a while. They're not going to like go down. They're going to hold more value than the regular is because they're newsstands from the 90s. We'll be here, but it's the 90s all over. We'll see. I do think there's some books I think there's a lot of books on the market right now that are going for money that they will not sustain. I also think there's a lot of books on the market that are never coming back down. For sure. So there you go. I know D-Ronk Comics would be excited about that. For sure. He loves that extra alpha. Kids and drink more clock nights. Big Will, what's going on, Big Will? So we're just hanging out. I've already given my thoughts on CGC and Blackstone. So you missed that earlier, Big Will, but basically I'm not optimistic. So what else are we going to talk about? So yeah, like the early 90s image stuff, yeah. I think it's the 90s at all. The one thing I will say about the difference now versus the 90s is a high print run now on a book is 150,000. That's a big number right now. In the 90s, it was millions. Like X-Men 1 was literally like 7 million copies. Like, so there's a big difference about the supply. So even though if you think the demand's going to dry up somewhat, the supply is still way less than it was back then. So, yeah. I do think there's a correction coming. I don't think it's going to be as big as some of the people that are like, oh, there's a correction coming. There's a correction coming. Their prices are going to drop. I don't think it's going to be as big a correction as what they think. I think it's going to come. I think there's going to be a step back, but I don't think it's going to be like this giant crash. There's too many people my age that have money, that love comics, the nostalgia that, 40, 50-year-olds are still collecting and buying. Now, when current 20-year-olds become our age, then we'll see how well the market does. When we're ready to sell as old men, we'll see what the market is by those 20-year-olds when they're the ones that supposedly are going to have the money. So, yeah. There are millions. Well, that's why the Spawn newsstand goes for so much, and the regular Spawn does not. Will there? If it goes almost all digital, if those kids are just reading them digital, will they have any attachment to the actual book? I don't know. No, I agree with Unruly here. Overstreet's going to correct the market. Nobody listens. Like Overstreet does not have the influence it once did, just because you can go online and see what sales are going for. I mean, that's even changed. Like, I feel like in the last year, it's like people don't negotiate on books right now. Like, they just go, this is what it's selling for. Like, there's no, like, because they know they believe they can get it. And the way the markets move, they're not wrong, or they haven't been wrong. I think in general, there's going to be a correction, but I do think a lot of blue chip keys aren't really going to correct much, if at all. Modern books will correct a little bit more, but I think it's going to be a pretty small one. Yeah. Yeah. This is true. I'm not saying it's going to die. I'm just saying that we'll see where the market goes. I think the pool of collectors is going to get, but we'll see. I could be wrong. No. So anyway, yeah, we've talked a lot about market stuff today, which is, unusual for me, at least on this show. But I don't know. I'm not as gloom and doom sky is falling. I do think there's going to be, I think the last year has been an outlier. And I think a lot of it had to do with people that didn't lose their jobs because of the pandemic, but couldn't spend money on other stuff. And then I also think there's a lot of investors, and you live in interesting times, yes, that have come in, that have driven some prices up. I mean, that's an investor. That guy that bought that Marvel Spotlight 5. That's not an average collector that spent that money and drove that price that high. Those are not average collectors that did that. Obviously, there was at least two of them. And I don't think books like that are necessarily coming back. The books like that, the days, I got back in 5 years too late. The days of getting some of those monster books in high grade are over for average collectors. It's over. It just is. I mean, you're not, but yeah. And they are. There's probably more than 100 of them, but yes, that's driven a ton of these books, and those people are not. Yeah, they are going to outbid you. Hey, Seawood, what's going on, man? So, boy, this kind of turned depressing. We've been talking about Blackstone and the market and market correction, and yeah. Oh, I should put it up here while I'm reading it. He's never read an X-Men or Wolverine. Yeah. It's definitely happening. So, you guys want to see, so I'm thinking about, since we've been on this topic of grading and CGC and everything else in the market correction. So I'm probably going to be working on another submission. It's probably going to CGC despite their horrendous turnaround times right now, because back in the spring, after I sent in my last submission, my membership rolled over and I let it go because they weren't that slow then. So I got a $150 credit. Well, they did not apply the $150 credit to that last submission, even though they charged me after the fact because it was submitted beforehand or whatever, blah, blah, blah. So I have to do a submission at some point to CGC. Yeah, no. Absolutely. See, that's the thing I think people forget is people are like, oh, those movie people aren't reading comics, and they're not. The people that are loving these movies and watching the movies that just come in for the movies, a lot of them aren't reading the comics. That doesn't mean they're not investing in the comics. And yeah. Oh, I know. He's gonna bitch because I'm hoping to do another submission later this year, and it's probably not going to CGC. So unless something changes. So once I use the 150, and I'll probably do because I'll probably send more books than the 150 because of the shipping and everything else to maximize. I'll send the books I have right now to go. But yeah, I'm hoping to do another submission later in the fall, and that's probably not going to CGC. It just isn't. And yes, Big Will is correct. I'm looking at, and that's one of the reasons. So I'll just show some of the books that I don't know. I haven't finalized it yet. I mean, I might, but to give you an idea, you saw the book, a chunk of them is I gotta send soon if I'm going to get back in time. Because I got to get them back before May of 2022 because I have slowly but surely accumulated 1, 2, 3, the 1 in 25, a couple of copies of number 2, and then a copy of 25, which is kind of the cameo. So now some of those are going to be my copy because I love that story. I'm going to keep a couple of those. Yeah, they're definitely not. It's weird how they do some of this stuff. So those 7 Is it 7? Yeah, 7 books are probably absolutely for sure in this next submission. And yeah, those are going in the next submission because I want to have them back before May of 2020. I really want to have them back about March when a trailer drops with her holding the hammer. Yeah, Big Will talked. He did drop a video. Was that Friday, Big Will? Go to his channel. He dropped a video Friday breaking down the current turnaround times at CGC and CBCS. It was an excellent little breakdown that he did, like what you can expect based on what they're claiming their turnaround times are. And so that is, yeah, those are, he did a really good video. You should definitely go check it out if you're interested in where things stand for those. No, those were all like books I'm hoping to make some money off of and keep trying to build. You know, and now one of these copies I paid a little more for. Of the 3, like these 3, one of these I have $2 in. I found it in a vintage stock for $2. The other one of the others I have like 20 in. I bought it fairly early when people were just starting to spec on it. And the most recent one I picked up, I have a significant amount in, but still, like it's going for it's 100. I'm still okay. I mean, it's under 100. I have 100, and now I think 80. I think I have 80 in the other one. So, and I think 2 of the 3 have a good shot at 9.8. The other one I think is 9.6, 9.4. This I think's got a legit shot at a 9.8. Strangely enough, this 1 in 25 goes for less, which is weird, but it does. And then these 2 number 2s that people are trying to claim are the full first appearance. Hey, whatever. These are both 9.8 candidates. And then this one's probably just going to stick with me. And it's probably like a 9.6. It's got 2 spine ticks. So 9.6, maybe a shot at a 9.4. Or I think it's at least a 9.6 because 1 doesn't really break color. So I don't have a clue what you're talking about. There you go. Well, yeah. I mean, the one I picked up for like $20 before she walked on the stage with the hammer. And then, because I just wanted one. And then the $2 one I found like right after that in like a back issue bin. So I was like, woohoo. And then the other one, I probably waited too long. There was actually a lull there where it got back down. It jumped up to like 50, 60 after she walked on stage. It got back down to like 30 at one point. I didn't buy any more. And then it jumped again. And then, yeah. So, and now it's like 100 plus. But so, yeah, it would have been nice to have it on third. So those 7 are going for sure. And then other stuff that I'm probably sending, well, because I'm doing a modern. This guy's going. This guy will go because he's still modern. So he'll go in that submission. And then probably my other, like, I sold the one just recently. My other copy of this will probably go this time again. I just sold the other one when it came back at 9.8. I think this one's got a legit shot also at 9.8. So we're good there. And I'll probably send this one too, because if that show starts, I'll probably move both of those. And then, so that's what, $9. I'm thinking I'm looking at like $10 with the thing. And then I'm thinking about doing 12 this time because I think I'm going to send the 2 silk books with the variant, and the second print. I think I'm going to send those as well. So, yeah. Dope. Nothing wrong with that, though. You pass it on to somebody is good. Well, again, heroes do better than villains, typically, Patrick, so I'm going to disagree with you. And if they're bringing her back, like the rumor is they brought her back for more than one movie. she agreed to do it because she agreed to more than one movie. We'll see, but is Gore, how many Marvel villains, Loki, Thanos, go more than one movie? So we'll see. I mean, the sleeper spec, I think, is actually a book nobody's going after, and I probably shouldn't say anything because I haven't bought extra copies, is that War of the Realms Omega, #1, where she becomes Valkyrie. Because if they bring her back for more than one movie, my guess is that she either at the end of this one or ultimately becomes Valkyrie. And the hammer goes back to Thor. Because Hemsworth signed on for multiple movies again. So we'll see. What we got? So that's probably my submission. I haven't finalized it yet. Like, those are the 12 leading candidates to go. I mean, there's some other stuff that I'm considering, but most of it I'll probably wait on. So maybe a later submission. So yeah, so you guys are getting, well, maybe this may just be the video. If I don't change it, I may not do an actual video of what I'm sending, but yeah. So yeah, this is what I'm thinking about sending. 12 books, Silk #1, second print, Silk #1 variant, which I just love this cover. The 2 Jessica Cruz books I have left that are kind of the little spec stuff. I already moved the other copy of this one, so I'm going to send these 2 in before, hopefully get them back before the HBO Max show comes out. 20 in black. Oh, we got the black and white incentive. Yeah, I actually also have this, but this isn't doing anything, so I don't know if I'm going to send this one or not. And this is probably the one that has the least shot at a 9.8. It's not bad, but it has a flaw, which I don't know. You guys won't be able to see on camera, but like that I think makes it a 9.6, and that's really not worth anything. So, like, I'd picked up cheap copies of all of them years ago, and so but I don't know that I'll send that this time. I may just sit on that one. But I am for sure sending all the Thor books, and I'm for sure sending that guy. So there's 8 books for absolute certain, and I think those others are pretty much what I'm doing. Ooh, I'm way behind on comments. Not near man. Or Rob. What did Rob say? I feel bad. I once had a Captain Marvel 17 second print in my hands. I don't do things. Oh no. Oh no. Well, Simonson signing. Nice. Good for you. That'll be fun. Rob, generally a good policy. Yeah, as you know. Well, you know, this is true. Star Wars Batman. I have some Star Wars books that are in here, but I don't think I'm sending them yet. They may be in the fall submission because I'm actually trying to snag a couple others. I got a line on a couple other things that I'm working on there. Yeah, her current series is really good. I will say that. Interesting. Interesting. Well, we're going to talk about that in a little bit. I don't want to talk about that yet. For every book, I've done the same thing on the comic movie. I could probably buy help. Yeah. Yeah, there's a bunch of books I've passed over the years, and then, well, I passed on Something's Killing the Children. I was like, I'm not really doing any series right now. Frick, I could have had a cover and a Frisson easily, both. Walked out actually, and the Jay Lee. I could have had all 3. They had all 3 of them when I was in there. Didn't buy one. Dummy. So yeah, so I think this is a submission. We'll go through it one more time. So for anybody, and I think I'm probably gonna try to send these out to Jimmy. I'm gonna have Geek Aficionado clean and press them for me again, like he did the last time. So I'm gonna send them to him probably in the next week or so. But I think these are the 12 books that I have decided on. So yeah, I'm gonna send all 3 copies of my Thor #1 A cover for sure, because 2 of those are gonna get moved. I debated on waiting and getting Jason Aaron to sign them before sending them, but then they would go to CBCS, and I don't know for sure if he's gonna be at Planet this time. And I don't know. I think I just want to send them and get them back and not risk, I don't think I'm going to mess with that. So, the 1 in 25 Fiona Staples is going. 2 copies of Thor number 2 are going. Good for you, man. You did good. You did good. You were a smart man on that one. Thor God of Thunder number 25, with the little cameo of her with the hammer. And then the 2 Jessica Cruz books. I think both of those are going to go. And then the 2 Silk books are going to go. And then last but definitely not least, because I'm doing a modern order, I'm going to send the DC Comics Presents 26 in as well. I'm just going to go back up here for now. Just showing stuff off. So yeah, I think that's going to be my next CGC order. I'm going to work on like some other stuff I've considered. Like I was going to send potentially my Hell Arisen. Interestingly enough, like, I don't know if you guys know this, I have a second print of this. I have the 9/8 of the first print. This is the second print. And this is now going for more than the first print. And you don't know what this is. This is the first Gwenom, where she gets the like Venom symbiote from her universe. Grade estimates. All right. I haven't done the grade estimates just yet on all of them. Grade estimate on this. I think with a clean and a press, I remember looking at it when I got back and looking at it now. I think there's a legit shot at 9.4 on this. That's my hope. If it was a 9.2, I wouldn't be disappointed. I would be disappointed if it was a 9.0. I think there's a legit shot at 9.4. I think a 9.6 would be a bit of a miracle. But yeah, I think legit shot at a 9.4 on this guy. For if you're asking for a grade estimate. Yeah. He does have a business. I can let you, like, I can get you that information offline, Louis. But yeah, because I don't have it right now. I sent it to him because we know each other. But yeah, he does technically do that for work. Yeah, hit him up. The Geek Aficionado. Oh, there it is. Yeah, you can hit him up on Instagram. The Geek Aficionado is what his Instagram handle is. So that's probably easier, and you can handle it by contacting him direct. I do get my books clean to press. I send them to I've sent books either to DS Comics. He's currently not taking books, or Jimmy the Geek Aficionado, and he's running about, I think he said a month to 2 months, which is not too bad for a presser right now, but he's a little backed up. So starting to get a little backed up. So there you go. Yeah, quadruple key. First New Teen Titans, first Cyborg, first Raven, first Starfire. Yeah. Hey, there's TJ. Sorry, you're just home from work. Tell you what, TJ, we'll do a recap real quick of what I was just talking about. I'll show them one more time. I'll give grade estimates this time. And then I'm going to probably send these out because I am doing a CGC order, TJ, because they got my $150 credit. So they're getting the next round of books because I want to use that money up. Yeah, everyone's so far buying. Just like CGC and CBCS. This is going. I estimate this has got a good shot at a 9.4. I'm hoping for a 9.4. I won't be disappointed with a 9.2. I would be a little disappointed with a 9.0. But yeah, that one's going. My 2 Silk variant, the variant of her first solo series. I don't know if this is technically a 1 in 20. I think it's a 1 in 25. I don't remember if that's the case or not. It is an incentive, I'm pretty sure. I just don't remember what it is. But this is pretty hard to find. Goes for pretty good money. Definitely doing that. Yeah, there's no D&D tonight, so I'm not necessarily in a hurry to get out of here. Although I'm not going to stay too much longer because, we'll probably go at least the hour. The Silk second print. This is probably this is a flip book. I bought this to turn. I already have a first print in a 9.8. I will sell this one. I'm going to keep the other one because I just love that cover, unless it just goes really stupid. Yeah, Jimmy's a good dude. No, he definitely has a business out of it. Definitely. The two Jessica Cruz, but I didn't give grades. These are both 9.8s. Should be. Yeah. I'll double check them before I send them. But my recollection is what I had in my mind when I put them away after I got them was that these are both 9.8s. So I will be disappointed unless I see something before I send it. I will be disappointed if those don't come back 9.8s. This is that because it's that prestige thing. Doesn't look like it's ever been opened. Doesn't look like anything. Corners are sharp. There's no ticks. This is a 9.8 all day. And then this does have a non-color breaking tick, if I remember right. It's right on Batman's. It maybe barely breaks color right at the edge. So this might be a 9.6. But yeah, 9.6, 9.8, I think. That one little tick. So we'll see what it does. There goes the fireworks. I don't know if you guys could hear that through the sound or not. That was close. Actually, I'll be surprised. My neighborhood has not been World War III quite as bad as it typically is. So, and then all the Thor books are going. So 3 copies of Thor number 1, 2 to sell, 1 to keep. One of these I think is 9.6, 9.4. The other 2 I think are 9.8. So yeah, I mean that's going to be my prediction. This copy of the 1 in 25 of that book, I think this is a 9.8 as well. Looking it over, yeah, there's no spine ticks. Corners are sharp. Yeah, I think that one. I think that's a good one. Normally it's really bad, and last night went for a while, but today it's not actually been as bad as I feared. Tonight. I try to be realistic. I try to look for that one. I think is that other Justice League. Looking at that spine tick again, I think it's probably a 9.6. I think that's realistically where that book's gonna fall. But I think I have $10 in that book, maybe. The other one I got, the Green Lantern, I have $2 in. So these two, this one I think is a 9.8. This one's got a little something on the corners, little bindery stuff on both corners of the spine that might, if they're being super mean that day, might bump it to a 9.6. But I think it's got a shot. And then this last one, this God of Thunder 25, it's got 2 spine ticks. One breaks color, one does not. But I would say that's a 9.6, 9.4. So those are my predictions. I'll write them down before I send them. But yeah, I'm going to probably try to get these books out. I think those are the 12 books, unless I make a last-second change of my mind. Those are the 12 books I'm going to send him. I'm wanting to put together an older order, because I'm wanting to send in at some point, I want to send this in. I want to send in that Captain Marvel. I got a copy of this I want to send in. I don't know if I'm going to send this copy Lowe sent me or not. It's not a super high grade, but this book has jumped considerably, and I may never upgrade it, so I may just send it in. We'll see. It's probably maybe a 5, maybe a 4.5. So it's in that range. Lowe's has already pressed this one, but yeah, 4.5, 5.0 kind of range on that one. So I don't know if I'll send that one or not. This I think is more like 7.5, 8.0. This is 1.8, 1.5, 2, maybe 2 on the high side. If that's a 2, I'll be like super happy. And then that Captain Marvel back there, that Marvel superheroes, I think when I got in, I think I like 5.560. So yeah. As long as it's only fireworks, yes. It's only fireworks. I just try to be realistic. Typically, like looking back at my submissions, I've undergraded. I'm either about half the time I hit it. The other half I undergrade slightly more than I overgrade. And usually I've only ever overgraded by, well, that's not true. I've had a couple where I've been off a little bit. One was that New Teen Titans #2 because they really hit me for that stamp. But like otherwise, I've been pretty close. That's the only time I really missed was that one. I'm usually off by just a step. So we'll see. Yeah, nothing wrong with the 2. I would be ecstatic if this comes back at 2. It's got a spine split. It's kind of covers holding on by a thread. Like it's got a little Marvel shipping there at the top. I mean, she's rough. She's seen better days, but at some point I gotta get her in a slab. Get my other Jane Foster book in a slab. But yeah, that's probably everything I'm going to send at this point. I mean, I got some other stuff that I'll send at some point. People were talking about Star Wars stuff that I'm going to send at some point. I'll probably send like the High Republic stuff at some point. I got like 2 copies of this, but they got that color rub on the back, both of them a little bit, that I think potentially keeps them from being 9/8, so I'm not in a hurry. Even though I love that cover and it's kind of an Ahsoka thing, but yeah. So that's. Oh, I also have an Archie book, but it's in a different box because it's a Golden Age. It's too big for that box, but so yeah. So those are the things I'm going to send. I think. So that leaves us with just 10 minutes here or so. Let's talk Loki. You guys want to talk a little Loki? Before I get out of here? So, I haven't talked about it since episode 1. Here, let me put a little banner up in case anybody hops in. Loki spoilers. There we go. I still had that made from the first episode, after the first episode. So, overall thoughts. I've been disappointed in the Loki show so far. It's not bad. I don't want to come across as I think it's bad because I don't. I just think they've played it a little safer than I thought they could really go bonkers with it, and maybe they will in the last 2 episodes. I thought episode 2 was pretty good. Jackson just got here. Yeah, later, my friend. So happy 4th. You say that, but compared to what I paid for it when I bought it from Matt, it has taken off some. Not as much as like some of the others, but yeah. Oh, wait, no, I have 84. You were talking about 85. Yeah. So, yeah, 85 is, though, the first Loki. Yeah, but it was already a big book. Tom Hiddleston is great. He's been fantastic. I just think they played it a little safe. I thought episode 3 was a waste. I feel like the Loki Sylvie stuff could have been done. That whole sequence could have been half an episode, I think, or less. I felt like for a 6-episode show, that episode was really my big disappointment, I think. I just did not think that it kept the show moving. I thought it really bogged it down. I thought some of their conversations and his description of what it was like to be a Loki was not accurate. It just, yeah. Right now, it's definitely 3 of 3. Now, I could change that last 2 episodes, but it's 3 of 3 for me. I still am enjoying it. It's just not as good as I had hoped. I will say I really enjoyed Owen Wilson's Mobius. I know Owen Wilson can be hit or miss. I really enjoyed his Mobius character. I thought that was really good. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's 6. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's 6. So yeah, that's so episode 2 I thought was really good. Like the setup of how they figured out where the Loki was, the variant was, how he found the variant. The reveal of Sylvie, I think, was great. I think the people that are chasing the Amora, the Enchantress book, are chasing the wrong book. I talked about that during the Cash of Trash. This is not Amora, which is disappointing to me because I really wanted her to appear especially when they brought Scourge in and Ragnarok. I really wanted Amora to appear at some point. I think she's an interesting villain for Thor in the way that she can mess with him. And I thought maybe we might still get her in Love and Thunder, and maybe this is the version we'll get, but it just disappoints me that this is the version we're getting. Because this is like Loki, I realize she's taking a different name, but it's Loki. It's not. And I realize the Sylvie version of Enchantress is like his daughter. Like he creates her, and I guess you could say this is the same, but I don't know. That I'm a little disappointed that that's the case. I was hoping it was like a daughter or something, then they were just making up a story to like have him help her catch him. The reveal that the timekeepers were bogus last episode. It was good. It was not great. I don't feel it was well executed because by the time you got in the room with them, I'm like, what? These don't seem like all powerful things. And maybe the real timekeepers just weren't there. Those were like stand-ins, but like it seems to come across that they weren't real. It's no wonder they don't let anybody see them because those were not well pulled. For all the technology that the TVA has, I felt like they were not very well pulled off. They looked fake the whole time. Like, I don't know. It wasn't a surprise to me. Like, very Wizard of Oz. Yeah. Somebody's pulling the string. Everybody thinks it's Kang. I think it's Kang. He's been cast. They cast him super early and let it get out there super early for the next Ant-Man movie. We're a ways from the next Ant-Man movie. And like that news has been out there for a long time. So like people that he was cast really early for his first appearance to be in the Ant-Man movie. So I think we're going to get him, but yeah. I dumped my door to 80. I'm not sure what you're saying there, Empire. No, I'm not saying like the like animation, but like the way they did it, like the way they moved and everything, it was like almost felt like it was purposefully. To me, it was purposefully that they looked kind of fake. Like that they actually did a good job of making them look fake. If that makes any like sense at all, like so I thought it was actually like well done. Old Loki is behind it all. Oh, I think it's young Loki. He's behind it all. Oh my god, yeah, we talked about that during my Cast of Trash. That whole Nathaniel Richards and Kang, and yeah, Thor 282, okay. Yeah, like Chuck E. Cheese I think they did a really good job of making them look like Chuck E. Cheese animatronics. Because it was like they came up and I'm like, are they supposed to look that bad? And then when it was the reveal, I'm like, oh, they were supposed to look that. Like they were supposed to look like animatronics. And so I think it was well done. I was stunned that she like pruned Mobius. Like that was the moment that got me the most. I think that he got pruned like that. Like she just like pruned him. Like after they'd been this whole friendship and it showed that she didn't care about him at all. That was huge. I don't know. For me, overall, like I said, it's been good, not great. I feel like they played it a little safe. I feel like Loki. Here's been, I think, my biggest disappointment, really, in the show is Loki has been reacting the entire time. Like, he hasn't been, like, he's been trying to, like, do some manipulations, and he's failed miserably constantly. Like, there's been no, and I get, like, Loki loses, but Loki usually, like, loses at the end, not, like, the whole way through. Like, he's just, like, lost every step of the way. And I think that was one of the reasons I disliked episode 3 so much, is because, like, he was incompetent. And they're getting off that, and, like, getting the thing from her and then letting it get broken, and, like, he was incompetent during that. And, like, Loki loses, but he's not an idiot. And I don't know, I just felt like that was my disappointment. I feel like they have not used the potential of the trickster god in this situation the way it could have been anybody. You could have put this exact story, could have been Tony Stark, it could have been Captain America. There's been nothing Loki about his situation and how he's manipulated his situation. Right? Yeah. So if Loki's alive, so is Mobius. Maybe. So maybe they're all just go to this other timeline or dead end timeline or dimension or something. Yeah. So I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully, the last 2 episodes, like, finish it with a bang. Like, bring it up. But yeah, I've been a little disappointed by Loki so far. So yeah, right now it would be WandaVision, Falcon, Winter Soldier, Loki. Would be my rankings for the shows. I think Loki's got potential to jump up. Loki was the one I was sort of, and maybe it's because I was sort of looking forward to it maybe the most, because I thought it had a lot of potential to be bonkers and him to do crazy stuff, and they really haven't let him do any kind of crazy stuff. So yeah. I don't know. I haven't been watching the trailers. Like, I was kind of disappointed that trailer spoiler was on Tom's show today. Like, when I watched it and I got that spoiler. I try to avoid that kind of stuff. So I don't know. I don't want to know, like, I think ultimately it's Kang. I think because they've cast him, I think it's ultimately Kang is where we're going. I don't think the Nathaniel Richards is where it's going. I think they're just going to be Kang. So that's my opinion. Loki's actually the one behind the TVA, a different variant. Now that would be fun. So, like, it needs to be something. He needs to have been working an angle this whole time that we haven't, and that's where I feel like he hasn't really been even slightly effective at working any other angles. And even she, so Sylvie, had been jumping them around for a long time. She was a little girl when she escaped, and now she's not. So they've been chasing her forever. She's been a step ahead of them this whole time. And then they interact for 2 minutes, and then they're both incompetent and can't get off this world and can't make it work. And, like, that episode 3 just really, like, I think it was really my big disappointment of the season. Episode 4 was a little better, but episode 3 just kind of like, what? These two are just incompetent. And it was just, yeah. It's Loki's all the way down. I mean, yeah, they were just, like, even their plan to get on the train and everything, they were just not, like, they should have been able to manipulate that situation way better than they were. And then he just kind of blows it. Like, oh, I'm going to get drunk and we're going to screw it up and I'm going to act stupid and draw attention to myself. And it was like, what? I don't know. I just was not. Maybe. King Loki. We'll see. But so those are my thoughts. We're at an hour. So we talked comic market, we talked Loki, we talked my next CGC submission, we talked Blackstone by a CGC, which I think is, but well, I shouldn't say that. I just am not optimistic. I'm hoping it's neutral. I'm not optimistic. Those kind of companies buy companies doesn't usually mean good things for customers or employees. They just don't. So I am not optimistic about that purchase of CGC for the long-term prospects of CGC. I think it hurts them. We'll see, because those companies, when they buy stuff, they're all about. Now, Blackstone's not as bad as some of the others, but like they're all about dollar signs, and that usually does not mean good things for customers. So, so that's my thoughts on that. Things coming up tomorrow night. John's Comics with Kids. Comigories is back with our Summer Olympics, the first of our 4 Summer Olympic specials. We were playing the Indie Medley. We got Unruly Simeon, Daymares, Nick Comic Culture, and White Whale Comics. They can only play indie books. So come hang out. No DC, no Marvel. We're getting indies all night long. So come hang out for that tomorrow night on John's Comics with Kids. 8:30 Central? Sorry. I think so. Or maybe 8 Central. 8 Central. 8 Central. That's what it is. I'm going to give the wrong time. Then Tuesday night, come back here. We're going to be talking Southern Bastards Volumes 1 and 2 on the Indie Show with Lady Fantastic, Bearded Comic Bro, and No Good Comics, Justin. I've been forgetting one of those, and it's been a different one each time. Like every time I've talked about it. So that's going on Tuesday night. Next weekend, I got family stuff, so I'm going to try to get TJ's going to get mad right here. I'm going to try to get the look back. A reminder, TJ, I have not missed a look back in 2021. Thank you very much. But I'm going to try to get the look back done. I don't know. It just depends on how my week goes. My goal is to get it done. It just depends on how my week goes. So that is what I got coming up. And yeah, so we're going to get out of here. Gonna get these books probably packed up, sent off to Jimmy, the Geek Aficionado, sometime in the next week. So I can get my CGC order in and maybe get them back by 2022 early. Let's hope. But we'll be prepared for Ton of Little Bird. There you go. Ton of Little Bird. So you know. Yes, I'm very selfish. So, all right, gang. Thanks for hanging out for an hour. Enjoy the rest of your holiday. Go watch some fireworks. And we'll catch you next time.